you who are still tuning in, our next presenter is Julie Orenstein, who's going to be presenting on making a film.
So, all right, so making film. So this is the story of how I made this script into this film. Next slide. So why I elected to do it. The previous year, I had written a full-length screenplay, and when I finished it, I took it to some people hoping to get it made, but nothing ever happened. This was mainly due to the fact that I completely lacked the resources to make the film and didn't know what I was doing. I figured that by doing this capstone project, I would get connected with some people who'd have the knowledge and the resources to guide me through this process. So my inspiration for writing Aston, the film that I made. The story of Aston was one that developed over the course of a long time. It started with this idea of a girl being ignored in an art class. The story changed a lot over time and became an exploration of what would happen if a girl was ignored by everyone in her family and felt completely isolated. Pre-production. So going into pre-production, I had no idea what I was doing. I had never gotten past the point of writing ever before. So I consulted the internet, and from there I decided that I should do a script breakdown and shot list. A script breakdown is when you go through the script and highlight different things such as the characters in the scene, the location, and the props used. And then a shot list is when you go through the script and make note of each shot you will need to get to film the scene. Storyboarding was another thing that was suggested, but I didn't find it that helpful to me. So I shot list and broke my script down. First, I started by labeling each scene with a letter, and then I would label each individual shot with the same letter and number. I found that it was easier for me to break it, for me to shot list if I printed the script with a large right margin and then shot list directly onto the page. I would also highlight as I was reading through the script and then later go back and compile the highlighted information into one major list. This process took a lot longer than I expected it to, but the process did start going faster as I got more familiar with it. So then these are just some of the lists that I made. On the left, there's a key of the different colors I would highlight the different things as I was reading through the script. And then in the middle and on the right are lists of the compiled lists of the props that I would need and then the locations. And then I compiled all of that information into one major chart with a column for the scene, the script, the shot list, a storyboard if I needed to do it, and then the breakdown in which I would list the characters, locations, props, etc. So casting. What happened is Pat Lore gave some of my script to Laurent Mullen, and he posted on Facebook. And then when people saw it and sent in audition tapes, seeing the audition tapes and reading and people like reading the words that I wrote out loud was very cool. And I went through all of them and emailed back to people who got the part. After that, I started preparing to have a table read. We held the meeting on a Sunday in my dad's office. I ended up making a ton of lists about what to do in preparation. I made an agenda, I printed out multiple copies of the script, and I put a sign in the door, among other things. The table read went really well, and I was able to meet everyone, and we were able to read through the script. Then we discussed people's costumes and possible filming dates, and everyone was so wonderful and did a great job, and hearing the words spoken out loud was very surreal. Throughout this time, I had also been trying to lock down the locations I would need. The three main locations of the story were a school, a living room, and a bedroom. For whatever reason, I had been envisioning all of the school scenes that's taking place at Adams Middle School, so I emailed the principal and he was kind enough to let us film there. Pat Lore was also very nice and offered up her house, and last week we used my house to film it as well. And I also borrowed camera gear from the high school to film it with. The last step of pre-production was to send out a production schedule outlining what scenes would be filmed at what addresses and at what time. We decided to film it over the course of a weekend in March, shooting the school and living room scenes on the Saturday and then the scene in the bedroom on Sunday. Production. I shot the film on the Canon EOS Rebel T55 with the Canon 18 to 35mm lens. I mostly filmed by using the shoulder mount, and then occasionally I used a tripod. I also had 2 batteries and a battery charger. This was really useful because we ended up having to recharge them throughout the day. I also learned that it didn't hurt to bring an extra SD card because near the end of the shoot, the SD card filled up and I didn't have another one on me. Thank you, Pat Lurie, who was able to get me another. We started by filming at the school. We filmed out of order in such a way so that no one had to be there any longer than they had to. The actors brought their own costumes, and we ended up making our base in the art room.
Is
We
that,
started by,
is
we
that,
started by, what?
is that the last slide? It doesn't seem to be navigating to the next one.
No, that's not the last slide. I'm sorry.
Is this the next one?
No, you were on the next one. Go back. Back one more. Yeah, that one. No, forward one.
Sorry.
There we go. So we started by filming a scene in the hallway, and then we shot a scene in the art room. After that, we went around the school filming various things for the montage, and ultimately filmed the scene in the principal's office. We finished filming sometime around noon. Next, we all went to Pat Lurie's house. We filmed a scene. We filmed the first scene there in a scene in which there's a big argument. The next following day, we shot the last scene at my house. Post-production. Editing the film was harder than I anticipated in different ways than I expected. I edited the film on Final Cut Pro X. I started by quickly just piecing it together and then went back through the film scene by scene, improving what I could. The audio was something I didn't realize would be so difficult. A lot of the shots had background noise that I had to correct for, and sometimes I had to cut the audio out of the take and then use audio from a different clip to replace it. For example, there was one time when some sound overlapped with the person speaking, but I realized that the person wasn't facing the camera, so I replaced that audio clip with an audio clip from a different take. I also found myself experimenting with things like using audio to cut between different shots and using sound effects to tell a story outside of what's shown in the frame. For example, there were 2 times that I had to copy and paste the sound effect of a door slamming to make it seem like someone was sleeping. There were also a few times that I needed the sound to motivate someone to look in some direction. I found that the best way to do this was by finding the frame right before the person looks over and have the sound start there. I had never edited a real dialogue scene before, so experimenting with that process was really challenging and fun. I also found editing action-based sequences was easier for me to do well. My favorite parts to edit were the montage in the film and the last scene. Making this film made me realize just how important editing is in the filmmaking process and how much I still have to learn when it comes to editing. Conclusion. If I could do it again, I definitely would prepare more for the days that we filmed. I would try and be less cocky because I remember that during production, I was so confident about which shots I would and wouldn't need, but then when I was editing, I found myself wishing I had gotten that extra angle. I wish that I also wish I would also have wanted to get more taste of everything just to have different options to choose from when piecing the film together. Lastly, I wouldn't have initially edited it all so quickly. However, I am incredibly glad that I did this. I learned more about the filmmaking process than I ever expected to going into it. Thank you to Pat Lurie and everyone else who had a part in assisting me make this film. In the end, I think we made something good and I'm very excited to show it to you. I hope you enjoy it. Any questions? Or you can just go watch my phone.
You want me to click it to play?
I mean, sure, I guess.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not sure if it'll work.
Blake.
I'm not going.
Blake.
I'm not going.
For heaven's sakes, don't do this again.
Do what? I'm only skipping one day. It's just one day.
That's what you said the last time.
So?
And the time before that, and the time before that.
Relax, it's just one freaking day.
It always is with you, isn't it?
What's that supposed to mean?
It means that I am tired of you being a selfish jerk and quitting on things before you even give them a chance.
Piss off.
Screw you! What? What? Why can't you just leave me alone?
I mean, like drawing.
Could you please pass me the? Would you pass me?
I don't. My sketchbook is in the backpack, but that sketchbook does not have the grapes in it. So they kind of have like this rounded back shape and have like scales.
Would you please?
At one point,
Would
they have chips in the back of your head, right? And so each grass comes from a different section. So one person.
Could you please pass me the?
Addison, are you in here? Addison, I can see your feet. Addison, you can't stay in here. You have to come out. The principal wants to see you.
please.
So, what happened?
Don't you know?
Well, I want to hear from your perspective.
I lost it
Why?
because I don't want to talk about it.
Okay, that's fine.
What's going to happen to me?
I don't know yet. I'll need some time to think about it. Don't worry, though. Everything will be okay. Just, you have to understand, this is your second outburst this month and 5th time this year. I don't know what's going on with you, but for your own sake, this can't continue. Whatever's causing this, you need to find a way to move past it. I found that simply talking with someone can help a lot.
But there's no one I can talk to.
No one? Well, you know the people down in the guidance department. They'll listen to you. Maybe you can stay after school a couple days a week.
Are you going to call my mom?
Well, yes, I have to.
Can you tell her about that?
Yeah, sure, I'll do that.
Okay.
Okay.
Hello? Mom? Did you get a call from school today?
Yeah, sure, honey.
What did they say?
What's this?
Don't know really. I just kind of flicked it on.
Huh. Cool.
Yeah. You know, your boss called the house today.
Oh, did he rave about me?
He said you weren't at work.
What are you talking about?
He said you
I was
haven't.
there all day.
He had said that you haven't been there since last week. Is it true?
Partly.
Which part?
All of it, sort of.
Blake!
What?
A week. A week. You've only been there since last month.
So?
Oh, don't you do this again. Don't you dare do this again.
I'm not going to.
You know, that's what you said the last time too, right?
What?
Just shut up. Your word means nothing to me. You liar! Yeah, I'm going to work today. I can't believe I believed you.
Yeah, you know, you're quite fond of saying so all the time.
You don't get it, do you? All of the countless hours that I put into finding you that job, all the people that I had to get on my knees and beg for you to just piss it away. I can't continue to keep jumping through hoops.
Oh, then don't. You know, maybe I don't want a job right now. Ever think about that?
Oh, so you want to be a homeless bum, is that it? You want to sleep out on the pavement, eat crap for breakfast? Hey, be my guest.
Maybe I do.
Go for it.
Gladly. You know, but either way, that was a crap job.
Was?
Is. Christ.
You know what? You gotta suck it up. Suck it up. Do you think that I like my job? Filing papers all day, getting screamed at on an hourly basis? No, I hate it.
Then you get it.
No, because I still show up single day. God, why do I even think that I can still count on you?
You can.
No, I can't. You let me down every chance you get. You leave it to me to take care of all of us by myself. I kill myself so that you can sit on your ass and mooch off me. God, why do I even waste my time on you anymore?
Wasting your time?
Yeah, wasting my time. You are the definition of a black hole. Is it too much to ask for you to just pitch in a little?
What the hell are you talking about?
Just shut up!
Nicole?
I can't deal with you. 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 Leave. Leave. Leave.
Did you get a call from the school today?
Yeah. You're not going to frickin' therapy.
That was incredible, Julie. You did an amazing job. Well done. Should be really proud of yourself. Just gonna get back to the screen here. So I just have to say that, you know, watching you from the beginning of the school year, you had a vision, you had a passion, you had something that you really wanted to do and see through, and you did it. And you should be really proud of yourself. I think we're all very impressed. I'm going to open up the chat feature to the audience. You can write questions or comments, and I could read those aloud for you. So this is from Pat Lohr, who's your mentor. She said, "Congratulations, Julie."
Mm-hmm.
This is from Mrs. Marciano. Great job, Julie. Now that you have one film done and seen all the work that goes into making one, do you see this as something you would wish to continue doing in your future?
Yeah, I would.
We hope so, because you have a lot of talent. It's really impressive. Writing the script, directing it, awesome. This is from Mr. Masseni. Incredible project, impressive. Your skill and talents are wonderful. Nice job. And this is from Pat Lore. What was your favorite part of making the film?
I mean, just like I like the whole process. I think the highlights were like the original conception of the idea, actually filming it and then editing it. Those were all really fun.
Probably the hardest part. I mean, putting it all together is one thing, and then taking the time to edit it, it's amazing. How did you find your actors?
I didn't. Lauren Mullen, he is, thank you. I couldn't have done it without the people that helped me.
Incredible. You had a vision and you made it happen. So nice job. I hope you keep up the great work, because you definitely have some skill and talent there that you should keep going with. So nice job. Thank you everyone for joining us. That concludes our presentations.